Mr. Speaker, our country is a remarkably tolerant country. As is our Commonwealth, we tolerate a lot of behavior and activity that we might actually find unacceptable. And the laws protect that, because the laws should not generally compel what we do. However, the Supreme Court in the past has ruled that sometimes behavior that we otherwise tolerate, that we might find even abhorrent, can have a disparate impact upon a class of individuals. So is the seminal case of Heart of Dixie. The U.S. Supreme Court first found that there was a disparate impact on African Americans who could effectively not travel across parts of our nation because motels would not allow them lodging. So in that case, the court found that there was a disparate impact on one particular class of individuals and found that that form of discrimination was therefore collectively unacceptable. Now, in the United States, statistically, between 60 and 80% of all children today diagnosed with Down syndrome are selected for abortion. About 90% of all regular abortions occur within the first few weeks of pregnancy. This would be what we would normally term the conventional abortion, where a woman discovers that she's pregnant and did not expect to find herself pregnant and chooses to have an abortion. However, children that are diagnosed with the extra chromosome of Down syndrome, that is not discovered until testing much later in pregnancy. So these are women that statistically we can presume had chosen. They'd made their choice. They had chosen to have a child. But now faced with the possibility of having a child with a disability, they've chosen that child for selective abortion. As I said, 60 to 80% of these lives are snuffed out. Now, if we would not accept this for a lot of other genetic or other identifiers, if there were a genetic marker, and there may be, for individuals with LGBTQ, and they were being selectively aborted at 60 to 80%, would we consider that acceptable? This is a class of people that cannot speak for themselves. We're here to speak for them. This is genetic engineering. It's something that we should not accept. This bill is narrowly tailored. It does not criminalize women. No woman would find herself prosecuted or in jail. That's not the target of this legislation. But what it does target are those providers who prey upon women as they discover that their child has the extra chromosome that is Down syndrome, and in that moment when they are struggling with how to deal with that news, are immediately referred to an abortion. This would eliminate that practice. This would eliminate the snuffing out of the lives of so many of these beautiful children. Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues to see the humanity, the human face of these most vulnerable children.